Hello class, and welcome to section 10.4, which is about the volume of composite figures. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to find the total volume for shapes that are made up of more than one figure. So far in chapter 10, we have learned about 6 different volume equations. So the first one is a rectangular prism. That's the ones where we had a rectangle, and then it's that 3D rectangle shape. The triangular prism has the triangle in front and then again has that prism shape going out then to the back. The rectangular pyramid is the one where we had the rectangle on the bottom and then it comes up to that point up top. So all of the other, one rectangle and then all of those other sides are triangles. The triangular pyramid, where we had the triangle on the bottom of our pyramid. And then the cylinder, which got the circle on the top and on the bottom of our 3D figure. And then we've got the cone, which is the circle on the bottom and then comes up to that point up top. So those are our different figures. The biggest thing I stress that you need to know the difference between is this triangular prism and the triangular pyramid. Notice with the prism that there's just 2 triangles, the one in the front and the back, or if it's top and bottom, or if it's left and right, depending on how it's oriented. There's only 2 triangles in this shape. The triangular pyramid is made up of all different triangles. So you need to be careful between those two. Those are the ones students usually accidentally interchange. So with this shape, we're going to look and we're first going to cut it into different pieces. So you can notice we're going to split it right here. So we have this first shape, which is going up, this whole piece right here, and then you're going to have that other shape, which is the part that's coming out. So that portion out in the front, which is going to be right here, and then the rest of it attached to that particular shape. So our job now, we're going to have to find the volume for each of them, and then we're going to have to add that together. So I'm going to start with this purple one, the one going up and down. I like to label my different values, so I'm just going to call this one volume, and then I'm going to call it left because it's the rectangular prism on the left. And then when I'm looking at that, I need to figure out this base, so how wide this little section is right here. We can tell from looking at these different things that this is going to be just 0.2 inches as the base. Going from front to back, that's going to be the same as this measurement over here. So that's going to be times 2 on the width. And then going up and down, we don't use this 2.2 because that's the whole thing up and down. We're going to use this back part, which just says that it is 2 feet. So for some of them, you're going to have to pay attention to which measurements you are actually using. So then we're going to go 0.2 times 2 times 2, which is going to give me a volume of 0.8. Now looking at my other prism, I'm just going to call this one the volume of the bottom because it's on the bottom of the shape. We again want to go how far is the width, and that's going to be 2.2. And then how far is it from front to back? That's going to be 2 for our length. And then how tall is it? That's that little section, which is going to be 0.2. Plug those all into the calculator, and you're going to get an answer of 0.8 feet cubed. And I should have had that label on our first one as well of 0.8 feet cubed. And then the last thing you're going to need to do is to find the volume total. So altogether, you're going to have to add up your individual volumes. So 0.8 plus 0.88 is going to give us a final volume of 1.68 feet cubed. So you're going to find your individual pieces and then put them together. This next one, if we look up top, this first shape that we have, while it is cut in half, it's going to be half of a cylinder because we have that circle as our basis. So we're going to have to use our cylinder formula for that top part. And then down on the bottom, we've got another rectangular prism. So connected by all rectangles there. So I'm going to start with the cylinder volume, so that up top volume part. So I'm going to say the volume, and then I'm just going to label it C for cylinder, is equal to 3.14 times, and then we've got our radius of our cylinder, which is going to be 5, and we're going to square that, and then how far it is in between, that height is 9, so I'm going to multiply that by 9, and that's going to give me an answer of 706.5. But we notice that we only have half of that cylinder because we only have a semicircle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half, giving me that the volume of my cylinder is going to be 353.25 meters cubed. Then I'm going to look down at the bottom with my rectangular prism, and I'm going to call that the volume of the rectangle. And that's going to give me out front, we've got the width of 10, and then times the length, going back to front, is 9, and then times the height, which is going to be 11. When I plug that into the calculator, I'm going to get an answer of 990 meters cubed. Then the last thing we want to do is find our total volume. So I'm going to say VT for total volume is 353 plus 25 meters cubed, and add that on to the 990 meters cubed, giving me a final total volume of 1,343.25 meters cubed. So you're going to want to find each individual volume and then add them up to find that answer. Before I have you try this on your own, if you have not already done so, please take a screenshot of all of these volume equations so you'll have them all in one location and easily accessible to you, along with kind of the very rough pictures that I drew. I was never very good at art, but you'll have to forgive me. So make sure you have a screenshot of this so that you can use it while you are solving this next problem on your own. We've got the volume of that up top cylinder, so 3.14 times that radius squared times 1, giving us 12.56 inches cubed. And then we've got another rectangular prism on the bottom, so 5 for the length, 5 for the width, and then 4 for that height, giving us 100. Adding those together, we get a final total volume of 112.56 inches cubed. So again, the main thing with all of these is to figure out which pieces you have, break it into those pieces, and then add those answers together. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please feel free to reach out and let me know.